Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of History Through KSP. Today's video is on the amazing Grumman X-29. This was an experimental swept-wing military aircraft from the 1980s. It tested out the feasibility of swept wings and canard control surfaces. Now let's take a look at what made this plane so special. I'm playing my build back at 4 times speed, which, by the way, the speed of my videos will always be in the top right-hand corner. The X-29 was considered a 3-service aircraft, which, what does that even mean? Well, it means that the plane controls its direction using 3 methods. The first surface is the forward canards that sit by the cockpit. In real life, they swiveled, but I'm still learning, so I couldn't get the robotic parts to get it working, but it does look the same. The second control surface is the forward swept wings, which are the reason this plane is so unique, and the final surface is hidden on the back called the aft strake control surfaces. I will circle those surfaces as I build them. The really cool part about these surfaces comes from the computer on the plane. This flight computer made 40 corrections a second to keep the plane stable using those 3 surfaces and using 1984 technology. The digital computer had 3 backup analog computers in case of failures, which I think is just truly wild for being 1980s. This plane is only the 3rd plane in history to use a swept wing design and actually be able to fly. The German Junkers Ju 287 from 1944 and the HFB 320 Hansajet in 1964 are the only others that had swept wings and could fly. Alright, let's look at some specs on this bird. It had a crew of 1, so they had a lot in their hands when flying, which kind of sounds scary, and I wouldn't really want to fly this plane either. My build is almost to scale. Mine is a little bit shorter, but it maintains the correct shape. It was powered by one General Electric F404 afterburning engine that pumped out a whopping 16,000 pounds of thrust in wet mode, or afterburner mode. This thing just had some crazy speed. And speaking of speed, the X-29 topped out at 1,100 miles per hour, or Mach 1.5 roughly. That's dang fast for an experimental winged plane. Fun fact about this, Grumman decided to use the same airframe as the Northrop F-5A Freedom Fighter to save time and money on this project. This plane was built because calculations predicted that this style of wing and flight control would create unparalleled maneuverability. That, unfortunately, was not the case, which is pretty obvious since we never see the military or commercial industry use them anymore. And though the X-29 never lived up to the hype, the researchers concluded the plane would be greatly improved if the control surfaces and flight computer could work faster, which at the time they couldn't pump them out anymore. The funny thing is, the version of this plane I built in KSP can just turn on a dime and perform some insane maneuvers, but that's mostly because the SAS system in the game makes that possible. And as you can see here, I'm finishing up my build. I really like how it turned out. I even got the intakes in the right spot. I was able to mess around with the fuel levels just so it had more balance, because realistically, KSP liked this design more than it did in real life, but it still was a struggle at times to make it work. And I'm doing some final details with the antenna right here real quick as we get ready to get to our takeoff. Some other cool things about this aircraft was that it was never really made again. They made 2, it didn't work. Now we're taking off. 1.5 speed, just so don't bore you guys too much. They only made 2 of them. They tested them for about 8 years, and they really tried to push the limits of the computer and the controls to make it a feasible design for the military, because the military was looking for a small, light, mid-range fighter that could turn on a dime, intercept very quickly, and then get out. And unfortunately, that didn't work out, but I think it's an awesome plane. As you can see me really having a lot of fun with it. KSP loved it. I really am glad how it turned out. I can do some really cool maneuvers, barrel rolls. All the control surfaces worked the way I wanted them to. And yeah, just an awesome plane. Thank you guys for watching again. I'm coming in for a landing. Let me know if this is about the range you guys want. I'm really still trying to figure out my groove. Ugh, can't even talk. But yeah, I really like this YouTube, and I really like showing you guys these cool builds I make, because I have like a bunch of folders full of designs, and I just never get to use them. And ooh, look at me getting these good old landings down. And so, thanks again for watching. Please let me know if you have any suggestions for things I should build and test out in KSP. I love experimental planes. They're so awesome. And like always, stay focused, my friends.